Let me just say this before we even get into anything. Before I even pull a single thing for you. Somebody in your life, and I mean somebody who is very much present, very much aware of you, very much consumed by you, is sitting somewhere right now completely unraveling over you. And the most wild part? You have absolutely no idea. You genuinely do not see what you look like from the outside. You don't see what people see when you walk into a room. You don't feel what shifts in the air when your name gets brought up in a conversation you're not even in. But I'm about to show you exactly what's happening on the other side of your energy, because it is intense. It is real. And it is way bigger than you've been allowing yourself to believe. So take a breath. Get comfortable. Because this reading is about to confirm everything your intuition has been quietly whispering to you and you kept brushing off. You kept thinking, no, that's not real, that's just me being hopeful. No. It's real. Let's get into it. The very first thing that's coming through for you is this overwhelming sense of someone being utterly captivated by your presence. And I don't mean that in a light, casual way. I mean this person is genuinely preoccupied with you. Like, they go about their day, they're doing their normal routine, and then something, a song, a smell, a random thought, pulls you right back to the front of their mind. And it happens constantly. Multiple times a day. They can't turn it off. And the thing is, they're not even trying to turn it off anymore because at this point they've accepted it. They've accepted that you live in their head and they have made peace with that fact. What I'm also feeling is that this person talks about you. Not just thinks about you, they actually bring you up to people around them. They mention you in conversations where you don't even need to be mentioned. It's like they can't help themselves. Something will come up and they'll find a way to connect it back to you. And the people around them have noticed. The people close to this person already know your name, already know something about you, and they haven't even met you yet. That's how much this person has made you a part of their world without you even being physically in it. And what I need you to understand right now is that this is not coming from an average level of attraction. This is not just someone thinking you're cute or finding you interesting. This goes deeper than that. There is something about your energy specifically, the way you carry yourself, the way you exist, that has gotten underneath this person's skin in a way that is making them feel things they are not fully prepared for. They are catching feelings at a speed that is surprising even to them. And it's because you're not ordinary. You never have been. Now let's talk about what they actually see when they look at you, because this is the part that's going to mess you up a little. This person looks at you and sees something rare. And I keep getting this word, rare. Not just attractive. Not just appealing. Rare. Like, they look at you and they have this internal moment of recognition where something in them goes, I have never encountered someone like this before. And that feeling scares them a little, honestly. Because when you've been through things, when you've been disappointed by people, when you've learned to keep your guard up, and this person has, and then something walks into your awareness that feels this different, this significant, it triggers something. It opens something up that they thought they had closed off. And you did that just by being yourself. Just by existing the way you exist. I also need to point out that this person finds you physically stunning, and I feel like this is something that needs to be said directly because a lot of you watching this genuinely struggle to see your own beauty, and it is something that this person absolutely cannot understand. Like, they look at you and they're almost confused by the fact that you don't fully own it. They see you minimize yourself sometimes. They see you shrink. And it almost frustrates them because from where they're standing, you are it. You are the standard. You are the thing that other people are trying to be. And you're walking around second-guessing yourself, and they just want to grab you and say, do you see yourself right now? Do you actually see what I see? And the answer, for a lot of you, is no. You don't. And that's okay. That's actually part of what makes you so magnetic. There's something incredibly powerful about someone who has no idea how breathtaking they are. It's not performative. It's not calculated. It's just authentic, effortless beauty, inside and out, and people can feel the difference between that and someone who's trying. You're not trying. It just is. And that is devastating to people who are catching feelings for you. Absolutely devastating. Now I want to talk about the emotional side of what this person is experiencing, because it's not just physical attraction. Not even close. What they feel for you has texture to it. It has depth. They've been sitting with this for a while, building this picture of you in their mind, and the more they observe, and they are absolutely observing, the more they feel like you are someone they could genuinely build something with. Someone they could trust. Someone who would actually match them in ways that other people haven't. And speaking of trust, this is significant. This person has been hurt before. They've had people disappoint them. They've had connections that looked promising on the surface and then cracked under pressure. And because of that, they move carefully. They don't just hand their heart to anyone anymore. So the fact that they're feeling this way about you, the fact that they're allowing themselves to go there even internally, is actually a huge deal. It means you've passed some kind of unconscious test in their mind. They've been watching how you move, how you treat people, how you handle yourself in different situations, and everything they've seen has only made the pull stronger. There's also something coming through about how this person perceives your strength. Because you've been through things too. You carry a history. You've had moments where life cracked you open and you had to put yourself back together quietly, without anyone applauding you for it. And it shows, not in a broken way, but in the most powerful way. It shows in the depth behind your eyes. It shows in the way you don't react to everything. It shows in the way you've built walls that most people can't get past. And this person sees all of that, and instead of being intimidated or walking away, they are drawn in even further. Your resilience is one of the things they find most magnetic about you. The fact that you've been through fire and you're still standing, still glowing, still soft in certain places even though the world tried to harden you, that does something to them that they cannot articulate. Now I want to address something for those of you who have been going through a season of being misunderstood, talked about, or betrayed by people who should have known better. Because I'm feeling that energy very strongly for some of you. There are people who have tried to dim your light. People who have taken your openness and used it against you. People who have spread narratives about you that are nowhere close to the truth. And you've had to sit in that, absorbing the weight of it, wondering if people actually believe the lies. Here's what the energy is showing me. The people who matter, the ones with real discernment, the ones who are actually paying attention, they're not buying it. They see the inconsistencies. They see the contrast between who you actually are and what's being said about you. And slowly, quietly, the truth is doing what it always does, it's rising. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to defend yourself endlessly. The universe is doing that on your behalf. And the same people who tried to use your story against you are going to find that their own story starts unraveling in ways they didn't expect. Your integrity is your protection. Your realness is your armor. And the people who tried to make you look bad only ended up exposing the ugliness in themselves. That's already happening for some of you, and for others it's about to begin. Either way, just know that you are being vindicated. Slowly, thoroughly, divinely. Back to this person who is losing their mind over you, because I need to come back to them. What I'm feeling is that there's a version of them that has had a full scenario already play out in their imagination. They've thought about what it would look like to take you somewhere. To show you things. To give you an experience that matches who you are. Because here's what's interesting about this person, they're not someone who does things halfway. When they're in, they're in. When they decide someone is worth showing up for, they show up completely. And they've already decided that about you. In their mind, even before anything official has been said or done, they've already decided you're worth that energy. They want to introduce you to their world. Not just romantically, like, genuinely. They want you to see how they live, what they care about, the spaces they've built for themselves. They want your reaction to things. They think about what would make you smile. And not in a performative way, in a real, genuine, I actually want to make this person's life better kind of way. That's the space they're in. And some of you, this person hasn't even fully made their move yet. They're working up to it. They're in that phase of watching, wanting, waiting for the right moment. And part of what's holding them back is honestly a little bit of intimidation. Which, can we just acknowledge how wild that is? This person is intimidated by you. Not in a negative way. In a you are so much that I want to get this right kind of way. They don't want to come at you wrong. They don't want to underestimate you with a half-effort approach. So they're being intentional. They're being calculated. And when they finally do come forward, it's going to be clear that they've thought about it. For others of you, this person is already in your life in some capacity and the tension is already there. You've felt it. There have been moments between you that didn't need words. Moments where something passed between you and you both felt it and neither of you addressed it directly. But it's there. It has been there. And it's been building. And the reason it hasn't broken open yet is simply timing, but that window is getting closer. Something is about to shift in the dynamic and when it does, everything is going to make sense. All of those moments are going to connect into a picture that is going to leave you a little breathless. I also want to speak to the version of you that has been feeling overlooked recently. The version of you that has been pouring into things, pouring into people, showing up consistently, and wondering if any of it is even being noticed. I need you to hear this clearly, you are seen. More than you know. Not just by this person, but by the universe itself. The season you've been in has not been a punishment. It has been a preparation. And some of the loneliness, some of the quiet, some of the moments where it felt like nothing was moving, that was recalibration. That was the universe clearing space and raising your frequency so that what comes next actually matches who you are now. Not who you were 2 years ago. Not who you were when you were still tolerating less than you deserved. Who you are right now, in this current form, with everything you've learned and survived and grown through. Because what is coming for you, romantically, personally, in every direction, is calibrated for this version of you. And that's why you had to go through the process of becoming her. Of becoming him. Of becoming this. The person who is being drawn to you right now isn't coming for an older version of you that was still figuring things out. They're coming for exactly who you are standing in right now. And you are standing in something powerful, even if some days it doesn't feel that way. There's also a layer of this reading that's about your presence specifically, the way you affect rooms, the way you affect people even without trying. And I feel like you've been told at some point in your life that you were too much. Too intense. Too deep. Too emotional. Too quiet. Too loud. Too something. And I want you to understand that those people were simply not the right containers for your energy. What reads as too much to the wrong person reads as absolutely magnetic to the right one. And this person, this one who is currently orbiting you, thinking about you, talking about you, they don't find you too much. They find you electric. They find you compelling. They want more of it, not less. They want you turned all the way up, not dimmed down for their comfort. And that is the kind of person that you deserve. Someone who isn't asking you to make yourself smaller so they feel more comfortable. Someone who actually expands in your presence rather than contracting. Someone who looks at the full truth of who you are and leans in instead of pulling back. That person exists. That energy is real. And it is moving toward you. Now for those of you who have been healing, quietly, privately, in ways nobody gets to see or celebrate, this reading is especially for you. Because healing is invisible work. It's heavy, unglamorous, often lonely work. And you've been doing it faithfully. You've been doing it even when you were exhausted. Even when it felt pointless. Even when you weren't sure anything was changing. And the shift is happening. It's not just internal anymore, it's starting to reflect outward. People are noticing something different about you. There's a glow. There's a groundedness. There's something settled in your energy that wasn't there before, and people are drawn to it in a way they can't always explain. This person who is falling for you. Part of what's pulling them in so strongly is that energy of someone who has done the work and come out the other side. That's not common. And they can feel it. Something else I need to say, and this feels important, you are entering a period where the way people perceive you is going to shift significantly. The narrative around you is changing. And it's not just in your personal life. People who had written you off, people who underestimated you, people who made assumptions about where you were headed, they're about to be very surprised. Because what's coming for you is going to speak for itself. It's not going to need a caption. It's not going to need an explanation. It's just going to be undeniable. And some people are going to have a hard time reconciling their old story about you with the reality of what you've become. Let them sit with that. You don't owe anyone a front row seat to your elevation. The right people will celebrate it genuinely. Everyone else will watch from a distance, and that distance will be their consequence for choosing not to see you when they had the chance. Coming back one final time to this person who cannot get you out of their head, because I want to leave you with this. What they feel for you is not going anywhere. If anything, it's getting stronger. And the universe is aligning things in a way that is going to bring you into each other's paths in a way that feels anything but accidental. When it happens, whether it's the first meeting or a new chapter of something that's already begun, pay attention to how you feel in their energy. Pay attention to the way things click into place. Because your soul is going to recognize something in them that your mind might not be able to fully articulate right away. Trust that recognition. Trust that pull. You are gorgeous. You are magnetic. You are rare. And the right person already knows it, even if you're still learning to believe it yourself. The universe has been setting this up longer than you realize. Your only job is to receive it. To let it in. To stand in the truth of who you are and stop apologizing for taking up space. Because baby, you were never the problem. You were always the prize.